Minister Nathi Mthethwa and the Deputy President David Mabuza are on a vaccination trail today. They are encouraging people in the arts and sports sectors to get the jab against COVID-19. Well, eNCA's Ronald Masinda is covering that story at Athlone Stadium in Cape Town and joins us now for an update. So, Ronald, the Deputy President at this point undertaking many of the functions, if not all the functions, of the office of the President, while President Cyril Ramaphosa self-isolates having contracted COVID-19. But this function of being the champion of vaccination is not really new to his portfolio. He's been doing it for a while. Locate this for us within the context of trying to restore a level of social interactions and social events, please.
Otulas, the Deputy President is a very busy man at the moment, and I can confirm with you that he wasn't available at today's function. But to tell us more about his non-availability as well as today's event, we are joined by the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Mr. Mthethwa. Thank you so much for your time. Very important initiative. Tell us more.
Well, we have been on this campaign and we have crisscrossed the country. This is the 7th province. It's an important campaign because the sporting and creative sector has been the hardest hit by this virus. And we hope that the many people vaccinated who are going to be able to open up stadia, who are going to be able to open up events. But what we don't want to see is our own athletes and creatives spreading the virus. So we emphasize that people should vaccinate so that we are healthy as a nation and we go back to normalcy.
Recently, teams like Kaizer Chiefs, they had a lot of COVID-19 cases. What is the message then for football teams as well to also play their part in order to make sure that they comply with the COVID-19 regulations?
People have to comply. Remember that we are now in the 4th wave. And it has been confirmed in all the provinces, including this province. Because we are there, it's precisely because of that let's take this precaution, let's take a jab. Because it doesn't mean that if you are fully vaccinated, we are not going to be infected. You'll still be infected, but chances of you surviving are much greater than the ones who are not. Because even to this day, we're still counting people who are dying out of the pandemic. So we are really urging our people to get out there, especially our artists, especially our athletes.
Mr. Mthethwa, Deputy President David Mabuza was not available. Can you perhaps tell us why?
Well, Deputy President will be available as and when he's available. Remember that we are driving this program. So the support from him is a cherry on top. So he will be there. It's not the first province he's not here. We went to one other province and he was not available, but the campaign has to continue, and the campaign is continuing. And today, as you know, that the president is not well and has been reported already widely in the media, having contracted the virus. The Deputy President is the one who's been given the task of leading the country currently, and there are other tasks he's here to deal with.
And very lastly, Miss SA did us proud at the Miss Universe pageant. Any message to that effect? Because we do know that there was a lot of outcry in her participation in Israel.
Well, Israel remains apartheid, and as soon as the Israeli authorities understand that a two-state solution is the lasting solution, that's our position as government, and we have not changed, and we are not going to change on that.
Right, I'm going to quickly bring into us the MEC Sport, Andrew Moret. Thank you so much for your time. We heard earlier on that the Western Cape is #1 province in terms of vaccinations. I mean, that is encouraging. Where to from here after this event?
Now, thank you. After this event, we're really trying to get all our sport fraternity and our culture fraternity to get vaccinated, because it is very important for us to have everyone being vaccinated to have our spectators back and just to, for an economic drive, because they've been hit very hard by this COVID-19. So we just want to try and get them, and they're very supportive, and they come out in their teams to do that.
Just quickly, Deputy Health Minister, thank you so much for your time, sir. The Western Cape entered the fourth wave on the 9th of December. Can we expect a hard lockdown, because given that there's so many other provinces being affected by the fourth wave?
Do you expect what?
A harder lockdown. Is that on the cards right now, or is it too early to speculate?
Look, what we are seeing now is something that our scientists continue to guide us. What we are seeing, one, the people who are getting into hospitals, 75% of them are unvaccinated people. But number two, even those who get to hospitals, especially the vaccinated one, they don't stay too long. So our scientists are saying to us, they have not seen so much of the severity, though it is maybe too early to look into the disease. Is not that severe. Admissions are 1 to 3 days in hospital, out after 3 days, isolated home. So there will be a meeting this week of the scientists getting to the minister, and then that report will then help the minister to present to the NCCC and to the cabinet. But for now, we are actually saying go out there and vaccinate, because even if we are vaccinated, this COVID is not as bad as on unvaccinated people. Right now, the president has done well, he traveled, he came back. While he was in Western Cape, he picks up that he's positive for COVID-19. He's isolating, he's in high spirits as well, and therefore do go and vaccinate all South Africans, because the infection is actually not guaranteeing you. But if you are reinfected, new infection on a vaccinated body, we still manage to do well.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, today's visit by the Sports Minister on Arts and Culture was twofold. He addressed a large crowd, as you can hear in the background, about encouraging people to vaccinate, because if sports and the entertainment industry is to return back to normal, then people must vaccinate. He also visited some of the walk-in and drive-in vaccination centers here at the Athlone Stadium, and he said that he was very pleased seeing so many people coming in to vaccinate, and he says that 2 more provinces will also be visited to accelerate this campaign and the message behind vaccination. So Minister saying that they are encouraging signs for perhaps things can return back to normal, perhaps early next year.